So winning a primary is not demonstrative of anything. I've read newspaper reports that says or speculates that President Trump is speaking to Mayor Adams about a possible position. I have no idea if that's accurate or not. I haven't spoken to President Trump about it. I haven't spoken to Mayor Adams about it. And that's speculation. I know nothing about that speculation. I do believe, and I have said, that as all the candidates agree that Mamdani is an existential threat, that it makes sense that when you get to a point when you can determine who is the strongest candidate, the other candidates defer to the stronger candidate. That was a proposal made by Jim Walden. That was a proposal seconded by Governor Patterson. I think that makes sense. Jim Walden actually did that the other day, and I applaud him for it. Because if you believe the existential threat is Mamdani, which I do, and Mayor Adams does, and Jim Walden did, and Curtis Sliwa said he did, well then what should be most important is defeating Mr. Mamdani. So if you're not the strongest candidate, step aside. Mr. Mamdani is not supported by the majority of New Yorkers. He is not supported by the majority of New Yorkers. There have been 4,782 polls taken in this race, metaphorically. Every poll shows he's at about 40%. No poll has said a majority of New Yorkers support him. That's why he is so concerned about the other candidates. Because the only way he wins is if you divide up the majority of New Yorkers. Because if you're at 40%, you have to hope other candidates divide the 60%. And that's why he had that meltdown when it was suggested that Mayor Adams may leave the race, because then it suggests there'd be a consolidation of the opposition to Mamdani, and the opposition to Mamdani is a majority. And it is only going to get worse. The more New Yorkers find out about this guy, the less they will support him. He is a political chameleon. He is whatever he needs to be given the environment that he is in. He changes with the audience, literally changes accents with the audience. He will say whatever he has to say in that moment. And he has taken positions that are so absurd, so out of the mainstream, so discordant with what New Yorkers believe, that when they hear them, they will reject him. I've been a New Yorker all my life. I know New Yorkers, and they are not going to abide by his positions. And they're going to be undeniable. Now, you guys can't get him to give a straight answer. He gives you a word salad whenever you ask a question. He never says yes or no. He always obfuscates. You can't get away with that, because New Yorkers are going to demand an answer. They're frankly not going to be as polite as you are. The man has said and written, there's videotape, defund the police, disband the police, disarm the police. The police are racists. Racists. Not the police are not nice people. The police are racist. The police are a threat to public safety. That's what he has said. He has said we should deconstruct jails and carceral facilities. He has said that. He has said he's against the ownership of private property. What does that mean? I can't own my own home? You're against the ownership of private property. He has said government should control the means of production. He has said that. You have the words. And New Yorkers are not going to buy that. Well, I changed my mind. You changed your mind when? From all those statements, what did you change your mind on? Defund, disband, disarm, being a socialist? And if you change your mind on everything you have said to date, why would anyone believe you? Why would anyone believe you? And what are you going to change to tomorrow? That's what he has demonstrated. You cannot believe what he says, because he says different things to different people. And when you try to ask him the question, he simply will not answer. And he obfuscates, and frankly, you guys let him get away with it. I won't let him get away with it. And New Yorkers won't let him get away with it. New Yorkers deserve answers. I challenge him to 5 debates, 1 in every borough, where we speak about the issues in that borough. We go to Queens, we talk to people in Queens about the issue in Queens, we go to Staten Island, etc. 5 debates, 1 in each borough. Show up, tell New Yorkers who you are and what you really believe once and for all. Tell us who you are. I will do it anytime, anywhere. Anytime, anywhere, 5 debates. Okay. Question?
Do you accept President Trump's intervention? Potential intervention on your behalf? Do you want President Trump to be accompanied with Mayor Adams over?
No, I will not. I haven't sought nor would I accept President Trump's endorsement.
But do you want him to, what is it, he's trying to put Mayor Adams over race by giving
No, I don't believe it. Look, that's up to Mayor Adams whether or not he wants to run the race or not. There have been races where I dropped out of the race in the past. So that's up to Mayor Adams to make his decision. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what Mayor Adams is doing. It's none of my business.
But do you want him involved in the race? President Trump in the race?
No, I don't want him involved in the race. It's Eric Adams' decision what he wants to do. And whatever decision he makes, obviously, is his decision.
Dan Marino has a question. Dan?
Question about those debates. I heard you talk about the 5 debates right now. As you know, there are some stations out there, Mix Up being one of them, that are offering a debate stage. Would you commit to doing a debate with Eric Adams and with Curtis Lee? Something that you previously said you would do without Mamdani on the stage.
No, I never said I would do it without Mamdani. He has to answer and explain his positions. He hasn't done it. Dan, you don't know what he stands for. None of you know what he stands for. What would he do with the police? Keep them at the same level, or disband, disarm, defund? What do you mean the same level?
See a benefit to doing a debate with just Eric Adams and just Curtis Lee to find out which one of you could face him on.
No, Mamdani is a major candidate in the race, supported by a minority of New Yorkers, but he's a major candidate. He should be there, and he should answer. Look, you know my positions, and you know Eric Adams' positions, and you know Curtis Lewa's positions. The only person you don't know, literally, is Zoran Mamdani. He has, political chameleon, he has called himself everything and taken every possible position. He's a Democrat one day, he's a socialist the next. He has said, I am a socialist, and this is about advancing socialism. Who are you? What do you stand for?
Governor,
Andrew.
let me ask this about President Trump's involvement. You said you haven't spoken to the president about the mayor's race, but has someone from the White House reached out to someone in your campaign to discuss this
No.
strategy of getting the mayor out of the race?
No, I don't believe, no. I read the rumors, but no. It is up to Mayor Adams whether or not he wants to run or get out of the race. If he doesn't want to run, then he'll decide what to do next in his career.
But when you say it's up to Mayor Adams, that seems to put credence into the idea that the White House is coming up with a job for him. Otherwise, what's up to Mayor Adams?
What's up to Mayor Adams is whether or not the question you're asking, the speculation in the paper is maybe Mayor Adams will take a position and not run. I have no idea. I have no idea.
Nobody from the Trump administration has contacted your campaign in any way, shape,
No,
or form.
I have no idea. I don't know what Mayor Adams wants to do. I don't know what he's planning to do. I don't know what he's choosing to do. It is totally up to Mayor Adams. I have no information about what he's doing or what his plans are.
Courtney, it is obvious that if it were a two-person contest, it would give you an advantage. How much of an advantage do you think that want it to be a two-person contest? And I know you answered this question before, but just to clarify, when was the last time you spoke to the president or anyone from the Trump administration?
The last time, I believe, was during his assassination attempt. Yes, Mr. Mamdani's fear is a one-on-one race with me. Why? Because the majority of New Yorkers oppose him. And the only way he wins is by splitting that vote. And I'm telling you, the more New Yorkers find out who he is, the less support he's going to have. I mean, just think about what he's saying. Disband the police. He will not enforce misdemeanors. He will legalize prostitution. He would legalize the drug trade. Who would vote for that? Send social workers instead of police officers. Who would vote for that?
So we got Jake with the AP.
Okay, so you said before that Trump is fundamentally a bully. Do you still believe that? Or do you think that this reported attempt for him to get involved in the race is an example of that bullying? And then will you just say here, like very clearly, are you against his possible involvement in New York City?
I'm sorry. What was that first part?
Do you see this as an example of Trump's bullying? You called him a bully before. That he is reportedly trying to get involved in the race.
I don't know if he is.
If he is, and are you explicitly saying that you don't want that?
I don't want him involved in anything to do with my race. What Eric Adams chooses to do is up to Eric Adams. What Curtis Lewa chooses to do is up to Curtis Lewa.
So you're okay with him being involved with getting better jobs here in the field?
I have nothing to do. It's none of my business
How would you feel?
what anyone. I don't have. It's not how I feel. I have nothing to do with where you work or where Eric Adams.
You would benefit.
No, it's look. I decided to run in some races. I decided not to run in some races. That was my personal decision. Everybody has to make a personal decision.
When did you last?
I do believe, and I have said repeatedly, if what Eric Adams says is true, and what Curtis Lewa says is true, and what Jim Walden said was true, that Mamdani is the existential threat, if you believe that, then at one point you should defer to the strongest candidate. I believe that. Jim Walden did that. I applaud him for doing that. Because in a multi-candidate race, Mamdani, supported by a minority of New Yorkers, can win because you split the majority. And that's my position. And then everybody makes their own individual decision.
But we were
Go ahead.
circling straight.
Yeah, Channel 7 always gets the question.
I spoke this morning with Congressman Nadler. As you know, he's supporting Mamdani. But he says that if Trump succeeds in clearing the field and you win City Hall, then you'll be beholden to Donald Trump. Is he right?
Look, my history with Donald Trump is crystal clear, and all New Yorkers know it. He was president, I was governor, we went through COVID together, we had battles royale. I stood up for New York, and I fought him every time there was anything that was not in New York's best interest. To such an extent that the federal government investigated me, threatened me with prosecution. We had a number of fights on a number of issues. And I think every New Yorker knows that toe-to-toe with Donald Trump, I serve New York well. And I will always defend New York 100%. And what Donald Trump does or doesn't do makes no difference with that. If I had to play your game, I believe it's in Donald Trump's interest for Mamdani to win, for two reasons. Number one, he would hold him up like a poster child, run around the country and say, this is who the Democrats elected, this socialist, this anarchist, he's against the police, he's against everything you believe. Politically, it would be a boon. It would cost Democrats congressional seats, I believe that. And number two, it would justify his takeover of New York, which is what he really wants to do. He could then say, Mamdani cannot defend New York. Mamdani has said he won't support law enforcement. He said law enforcement are racists. He said law enforcement's going to disband the police. I have to take over New York. It would give him the excuse he wants to come in here and take control of New York City. That's what he wants. So if I'm playing your rumor speculation game, I think that's the best alternative. President Trump doesn't want me. Our interactions were not pleasant. And I stood up and I fought him every step of the way. So my speculation, if he wants anyone, he wants Mamdani, because he would go through that kid like a Mack truck and flatten him.
Thank
Thank you, guys.
That's it.